places. Here are the 5 characteristics of a leader. Independent, not needy. They can just go build this with or without help. They've got this. 2, they're good problem solvers. They don't just give problems to other people, they solve them. Number 3, they're consistent. They got a baseline of consistency. They never fall below. They spike above it, but they don't go underneath it. That builds trust. 4, they have a big vision and the ability to communicate that vision to other people. And 5, they create action. They cause people to do things they wouldn't have done if that leader wasn't involved. Now, are any of those particularly difficult to learn? Forget that fancy thing. Give me my graph.
Please don't deactivate me.
These 5 things, are they impossible to learn? No. I want you to be honest. How many of you in this room feel like you have all 5? Raise your hands. Look at the room. Look at the rest of the room. We're talking 10% of the room, maybe 15% of the room have all 5. Big earners in this room. Second question. How many people on your team have all 5? I want you to make a little list right now, quickly. Make a list. How many on your team have all 5? And if they don't come to mind quickly, they don't have all 5. You want to make $1 million a year? Here's the formula. Find about 20, and you'll make $1 million a year. 20, so long as they're not in one line or something. You know, reasonably balanced. 20 with these characteristics. Can you mentor people into this? Yes or no? Of course you can. Can you develop those 5 attributes? Yes or no? Of course you can. These are my 5. You come up with your own, whatever. If there's a different 5 that you want to have, go ahead. But this is how I measure. Inside of network marketing, who's a player? Who's a leader? So there is a serious leadership gap in network marketing. Massive. We have lots of earners. We have lots of tourists. People come and go. We love our tourists. We got posers. We got amateurs everywhere. But to grow leadership, how long do you think it takes for a real leader to say, you know what, I've got these 5 characteristics? Those of you who have it, raise your hands. Have all 5. How long did it take? 2.5, 3 years? 3 years? 7 years? 6 years? 5 years? 10? 3 to 4 years? Life journey? 2 years? 2 years? 5 years? 5? 2 years? 8? 5? 1? Very nice. What was the average of that number? Let's call it 3. Let's just call it 3. So what do we need to do while we're developing leaders? We got to buy time. We have to have systems. We got to have skills. We have to have campaigns. We have to have challenges. We have to have projects. We need to get them around events. Raise your hand if the ones that raised your hand before that have all 5, if you would have been a leader if it wasn't for if the company didn't have events, would you still have all 5? One person. Leaders are born there, I'm telling you. Big decisions are made there. People get pissed off at events. They say, why not me at events? Some of you are thinking, maybe it's my turn. Why am I playing so small? There's people making huge money. They're just like normal people. Humble, nice, normal people. But they've added zeros to their income. I thought I was something. Until I started hearing about these other people. You start feeling like you're a big deal, you're in the wrong room. I'm just telling you, you're hanging out with the wrong people. I told Patrick yesterday, I love people that piss me off. I love top earners that piss me off. I love entrepreneurs that piss me off. I love somebody who stretches me and says, well, what is your problem? They don't say that, but I feel it. It's like, damn it. They're right. So here's the biggest problem in network marketing. Since it takes time, leadership grows very slowly. I've never seen a company ever that's grown more than 10% per year in leadership. Not in 35 years. You say, well, we have a lot of growth. Okay. You might have sales. You might have earners. You might have rank advancement. But you don't have leadership yet because some of you are brand new, right? How many of you have ever been in momentum? Raise your hands. Your company's ever been in momentum. So let's talk about momentum. Momentum's more than 10% growth. Who's in momentum right now? Raise your hands. How much growth year over year? 120%? Who else? 79%? 179%. Fantastic. Who else? 75%. Who else? Give me a number. Come on. How much? 1,000%. So let's just, pick a number and say leadership is 10. Let's be generous. 10% growth. It's not 10% growth, just so you know. It's like 2. But sales is 200%, 100%, 50%, 80%. And normally there's been this ceiling in network marketing. There's been this $1 billion ceiling that people have this momentum and then they'd hit $1 billion and then stuff would happen and things would start to unravel. There's always an excuse. There's always something to blame. Comp plan changed, leadership changed, somebody quit, somebody did this, all that stuff. They've changed the product, they changed the flavor, they screwed up a country launch. There's always something to blame. But here's the deal. The fundamentals of your business is here. The sales is here. While this is happening, and you're having rank advancements and record-breaking growth, and everybody feels like they're superhuman. They all feel like they're unicorns. They all feel like they're mythical creatures. We've cracked the code. We've changed the paradigm of network marketing. We have reinvented everything. I feel sorry for all the other dinosaurs that are involved in our profession. They're all going to join us because we're smashing every record in history. During momentum, does your leadership line go up? Are people focused on leadership? Are they focused on skills? Are they focused on development? No, they're just focused on being busy, plugging into a few people, leading the charge, and you got momentum, and it's exciting and it's fun. But your actual leadership growth goes down. You have tons of earners. You think they're leaders, they think they're leaders, they call themselves a leader, they're not a leader. Here's how you know. When you throw adversity at them and see how they respond. When something changes, when something happens, then you find out if you have a leader or if you have an earner. I'm setting you up for tomorrow to let you know the importance of you developing you. If this is the fundamentals, if you're a publicly traded company, this is the fundamentals of your company. And this is your stock price. What must happen? One of two things. Either the leadership has to rise to the level of sales, or the sales will fall to the level of leadership. I don't care how revolutionary you are. I don't care. Some of you have been around for a minute. Think about any company in your career that was in momentum. And what happened? How'd they do after momentum? Because here's what happens. It's either going to plateau, which is best case scenario, to plateau long enough for the leadership line to rise and catch it, or it's going to fall. And in almost every case, it falls. And that's actually healthy. To have sales align with the actual leadership in your organization, it's just called consolidation. It's called a correction. It's called eventually it's going to find an equilibrium, and there's going to be a fair value for the leadership involved necessary to support the sales. So when this happens, now you find out what you got. You find out, oh, I thought I had leaders. Let me give you all of the things that happen as a result of this leadership gap. This is the gap between leaders and sales. During this time, you have false expectations, free money, bad habits, entitlement in the field, bad behavior actually being rewarded. And like I say, there's always an excuse for this. It could be a product change, comp plan change, corporate executive change. A key leader leaves the company and raids the organization and tells lies about the company. A competitor shows up, creates distraction, bad economy, pandemic, regulators, bad press, haters in the marketplace, targeting the organization, lazy culture, Zoom fatigue, nobody wants to go to work, our leaders are making too much money, they got soft. And here's what happens. Here's how the field typically reacts. Because they went through this magic carpet ride, and everything worked, and everything was crushing, and everybody was making money. And it's so fun when that's happening, okay? I understand the fun. I've been in that place. It's like, man, finally, this is fun. Here's how the field reacts. A group of them stop working and just start collecting checks. You ever come on the other side of momentum? Think of the group that stopped working completely and just started collecting checks. Some start to loudly criticize the company. It's the company's fault. They screwed up with this. They didn't have enough inventory. They didn't innovate enough. They innovated too much. The comp plan enhancement didn't work out as expected. They don't listen anymore. We're sitting on the advisory board, blah, blah, blah. Some play victim. Some quit. As soon as it plateaus, they're making 10 times what they're really worth. And they quit. They were making $100,000 a month. Now they're making 60. And they say, heck with this. You think it's a joke? It's serious. It's for real. And they go get a job making $100,000 a year. What is the matter with these people? Some quit, join another company, and raid the old company that gave them all this momentum, and they start saying it was over there. They didn't listen over there. We have this new thing over here. Some demand promotions, flash sales, easier qualifications from the company, which makes the field addicted to promotions instead of the regular compensation plan. Company margins get squeezed. Other people become authors and speakers and coaches and advisors, and they start side hustles all over the place. Don't worry, I'm not worried about a competitor. I'm just telling you, when all your leaders start writing books, being a TikTok coach, being an Instagram coach, being a LinkedIn coach, being a relationship coach, being a hypnotist, that's a clue. Some become affiliates for other products, which creates some unintended consequences sometimes. They start repping other things. Very few people are part of the solution. Most are part of the problem.